WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So I did learn that the wild chestnut sapling required a 2x2 area for it to grow. And the one that I just had over there just wasn't growing. So I looked around in a few dungeon chests and managed to eventually get 3 more saplings. So we have wild chestnuts growing. Chestnuts roasting on an oak. Okay, let's not start singing again. It's too early for that. So, anyways, we got some chestnuts. I don't know how to harvest them using just your hand, but I think you have to break them. At least when I broke one, I did get some wild chestnuts. So, it's all good. So, I did a bit of work between episodes. I've got some blue alloy ingots that I'm going to need to get. I think that'll be enough for some testing, but it might not be enough. I'll work on making some accelerators, and I just quickly open up this area so we have an easy way to access all of the materials that are in here. So let's get... For some reason, when a block update occurs, though, that stuff happens. So I don't know any way to rectify that. But oh well, so let's actually look at what else I've been doing. You may notice that this thing has a roof. Yay! The inside is going to need a bit more work once we find a place to move all of these Mistcraft linking books, because frankly they're annoying where they are right now. And if we go into this one, way over here, we also got a roof on this. I think it works out, and a floor that all matches. Now, obviously, the underground needs a bit of work. I'm in the process of moving those liquid conduits down a bit so that we don't have to see them as much. But then again, that means we need to work on some sort of advanced lighting system downstairs. And finally, last one I worked on was the storage room right here with its own unique design. I like to go with unique designs because each building is unique in its own right. So that works out. So what we're actually going to work on today, we're going to leave that be for now. The stuff over there. Bees are over there. That is what we're going to let be. Yeah, I gotta start making sense. So what we're going to work on today is start on the automatic crafting system Mark II. And this time we're going to work really hard on getting everything as fast as bloody possible. So that means we're pretty much going to forego the resource cost in order to get everything as fast as humanly possible. Now, that will mean a few things that we need to do. One of them, if we look here, there's a total of, I believe it's 26 slots, 24 slots, yes. There's 24 slots here, and a diamond chest is not a good thing, because a Sortron, when it goes through it, every single slot it looks at takes an entire tick. So to circumvent that, what we'll need to do instead is actually use a regular chest, or at least one that can go side by side and is a smaller inventory space. Because no point wasting so much inventory space on stuff we're not going to use. Anyways, moving onwards, we're going to have to use a lot of accelerators and mag tubes, as well as get all of our stampers. So let me grab a stack of pistons from over here. Eventually, yeah, that'll work out. Eventually, we'll probably hook up the system to the entire building so we can have mag tubes flowing in between every single part with colored ends, etc. Anyways, let me just get this and then start some major building. Okay, let's go over here. We'll make everything that we need probably around here. We'll need to expand this out in the future, but let's see what we need to do. First of all, let's place our battery box so that we can get some stuff in it. We'll need some more wirings, but just a simple battery will charge this up for some parts of it at least. Let's go back inside and make a temporary entrance over here. so that we can just quickly go in between all the parts that we need to do. Yeah, I know it looks ugly, shut up, but whatever, what have you. What am I gonna do? Come on, man. Come on. Also, maybe as a good temporary measure, we can use some of these to charge up this in the meantime. So let's throw this in, just chuck it in, and then we'll be good. So, every part of this should be as modular as possible. Now, let's see. To make it faster, the main shortcoming with the design previously was not the getting the items to the craft packet makers, but it was more getting the craft packets to flow in between each of the parts of the system fast enough. Now, the problem was, it wasn't fast at all. It just used regular tubes to do the deed, etc., etc. So what we're going to do is instead try to make it use all mag tubes pretty much all the time. So let's see. We're going to need an accelerator. This is going to be the original craft packet area, and let's go recharge our flight suit. Okay, flight suit charged, and the way to basically stop items from going back into this if it's not supposed to be there is pretty much just a filter with some sort of redstone signal to it to say, yeah, you're not supposed to be here, shut off. Okay, so then we have our craft packet maker right here. So the mag tube goes into here, this needs to be powered. And then this will go out as well because there then needs to be a way to pull everything out and to make sure that there's no jams. Once again, going with the principle of speed over resources, we'll use this, and of course this has to be put onto that instead. And turned around like so, we can then just simply connect everything like this, please. Thank you. And this is pretty much one module that we'll need. But obviously not everything is done. There are a few things we need to add to the top, for instance. For instance, we need a way, let's just, for simplicity's sake, go like this and like that. So we can just step up. Now, we need to be able to put stuff into each and every single part of this. So, for instance, this needs to be colored, but the only way for it to be colored as well as being fast, we need to put it on another mag tube monorail, for instance. Okay, so this will be the item transferal this part of it. And say if this is white, only the white colored items will go into here. Everything else will go under there. Hopefully. We'll have to figure out how that will go. So, we got that. That only uses 3 accelerators. Now, here's the kicker. We have to be able to make sure that if a craft packet goes in here and goes out, we have to make it go this way without pretty much, well, it needs to go this way. It can't back stuff into that method because we'll have a whole manner of hell to create. Say you're probably making pistons, and if you get a furnace, you probably won't be too happy. So how are we going to do that while maintaining everything? Say that the entrance is here. So from the previous one, the entrance for the previous craft packet goes in like that. Or it might go in like that instead. So let's assume that the next craft packet is going to be here. Keep everything rather linear. And that means we might need to block this off just in case something else happens. So we need to have a transposer right there. So let's create a transposer quickly so we don't waste as much resources as we are. And also let's make some more blue alloy. There must be nickelite by now. Let's make some more blue alloy ingots after we get a bit more nickelite. Okay, we got our transposer, and if we put it like that, we should be good. So this transposer will prevent it from going back this direction, and I think that's pretty much the gist of it. So let's expand it by another and see what we can do with it. So by one more, we'll need to go like this. And thus we'll have to go like that as well and get another stamper. Come at me, stamper! Stamper doesn't go there. We need a filter before that. And then go like that. Good. And then the stamper. And our colored pneumatic tube once we get that colored. So this will be the second part. There we go. And we need to work on our other parts, such as this, which will need to be oriented correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and set like that. And another part will obviously be the mag tubes that will need to go this way, blocked only really by this, and then up like so, pulling out the stuff once we use the accelerator once again, oriented. Of course, it oriented itself properly right away. And then we have this, once again, another accelerator going down like that. So, I think what we need to do right now is test it by powering the entire system. That'll take a bit of stone-jacketed wiring. I don't think that'll be too much of a hassle, really. Let's just charge this back up again. And we're going to still need some more nickelite. So I'm gonna go strap on my jetpack, find a batch of nickelite, and hopefully bring it back relatively safely, and then craft a bit more stuff. Be right back. Okay, we got a bit more wire than we had before, so let's attempt to wire this as efficiently as possible. Ew, that's not going to be efficient. So for that part, we're going to probably need to dig down and put the wiring under here instead. So it's going to be 2 instead per, eventually, once it all irons out. That wasn't even funny. And then go like that. So let's see, orient it correctly. I don't think we need our rock cutter anymore. There we go. And now for the pièce de résistance. Powering up this little bugger. There we go. That's powered, that's powered. Actually, we can just go like that for these parts. So these parts are not necessary. And how are we going to grab all you? Hear ye, hear me, please. Oh, come on. How did you even do that? I have no clue. I can tell that this is going swimmingly. So let's see. This is also going to need to network like that. And the only thing to get that over here is just powering it like that. So eventually everything will get power. It's just going to take a monstrous amount of energy from our battery box. But thankfully it's all renewable, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Anyways, so how are we going to introduce paper to the system? Like the initial paper quantity that we need to pump into the system. And also, how fast is this bugger? That we have to answer ourselves. So in order to do that, let's create some redstone torches, or we can... Both of them is going to require wood, isn't it? Do we have any wood? Hello, wood. Can you hear me? I am looking for waffles. Hey, wait a sec. That's only one. Okay, so... let's grab some logs. Okay, so let's put an accelerator here and a filter here, and with those supposedly off, it should just be an easy matter to do a simple speed test with 3 stacks of paper. So throw in. Not the fastest, I suppose. I think the main limiters are these transposers, so if we throw it in again, obviously we'll have to throw it in again, pulls it in, and it is these things that are a limiter. So let's get a bit of a simple recipe. Let's take those off, and for simple recipe, what is the simplest thing that we can do? We'll go with one simple thing of wood. Wait a second. We'll want to have it 2 in each of them, and we'll send 2 pieces of paper. So this should give the recipe, and those are off, 1, 2. Do you know what would be a good idea? Having these oriented correctly. That might help. Now, will these actually stop it? If the filter doesn't stop it, then there is a bit of a problem. Okay, the filter does stop it. I just can't see the visual indication that it's supposed to do. So 2 pieces, stamped, 1 stamped at least. You know what would also be good? Having power here. That was a horrible speed test. Waiting! Activate! Broccoli? Obviously that speed test is going to need to be redone because, well, frankly, it sucked. So let's get another set. And we got our 2 stamped packet things. And they are done. So we'll probably use those. Let's just get you guys away because I know somehow I'm going to pick you up again. Even when you're over there. So let's see. We'll put our 2 in here again and 2 in here again. And 2 paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds approximately to go through those 2 stages. That's not too fast. I'm guessing it goes through an entire second for each accelerator set that it needs to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That accounts for 4 seconds. And then there's the small delay that's required for this stuff. And we are pretty much out of battery power, so let's get another battery because that will be a bit required, I think. You know, just call me crazy, but that's what we need. I just met you after all. Not creepy at all, is it, Way? So, now that we got some full battery juice, yes, very tasty, I might add. We'll take this stuff out and add another part and see if the 7 seconds changes by, I'm guessing it's going to be 10 seconds in total if we add another part to this. Okay, so let's try another recipe. We'll go with cobblestone half slabs. Should be an easy enough one to do, and once again we'll set this to that. And I'm hoping this will take a total of 10 seconds. If it takes 10 seconds, it means that we're on the right track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9 seconds actually. Assuming that I actually... Why do you do that? Assuming that I actually have this correct, 9 seconds is good. So, now we have to do a few fun parts, such as where it grabs this and where it grabs that. That's going to be a bit of an annoyance. So let's do some calculations. If it takes an additional 2 seconds for it to go, let's say at a good estimate 2.5 seconds. So we have 6 additional things. That'll take an additional 15 seconds from what we have right now. And let's go with 25 seconds. 25 seconds per craft. Well, per item set, plus an additional amount. I guess that's okay. It could be a bit faster, though it is okay. Now, I did notice something when I built the house. I was wondering, why am I not getting all the energy I requires? Apparently, the solar panels were not in a windowed area. Therefore, I might have to either change the design or find some other method of power generation because it kind of sucks. Yeah. And I don't know if this is actually gaining anything. If not, it means we're going to need to craft some more solar panels than what we have right now. So, apart from that, what are we going to need to add to this? Obviously, some sort of request system. So, the request system is going to stem from one singular. Ooh, is that a good place for it? Probably not. Probably is, though. I don't know. Heck if I know. So one singular location. This one singular location is probably going to stem from the fact that we need paper to go in here and items to go in here. So we could probably have it either one or two, maybe. We could have this as a colored area by changing the filter or something. So having basically a stopgap by having this like black or something and going like that. So color this tube, only black things, black things go into here. And then if we have this thing here as well, this will be where our items are. So let's make a chest so we can remember this. Do I even have I don't even have a crafting table out here. That's how sad things are. And there we go. So pull that out, create this. Let's make a chest. I probably could have went in there to make it, though having these things are good. So we need a sortron here. This will be our buffer chest. All of the items we need will go into here before we craft stuff. 25 seconds, eh? Is there any way, easy way rather, to stop that 25-second stopgap? Because the main issue are the accelerators going back into there. And let's try to go with some math. I believe it's 20 meters per second in the mag tubes, whereas it is 1 meter a second in the regular tubes. And since they're all 1 meter long, it means that the mag tubes are 20 times faster. That being said, I believe there is a half-second delay required to go through this before it changes states entirely. So when it goes through the block, it'll take an entire half second instead of basically the average of the two speeds. Let's see. Let's actually power these up in the meantime so that we have something to go on. We'll have the sortron here so that we can pull from the buffer chest when needed, and it seems like we're out of power there. We're definitely going to need either more solar panels or a wind farm. You know, a bit of wind up there? Nah, that just looks tacky. Let me think on this a bit. The only way really I can think of being able to speed this up is almost like a valve accelerator or a valve mag tube. Because pretty much the transposers act like a valve for regular tubes, but you have to slow them down before you can go through them, because mag tubes do not attach to them whatsoever. Not even that side or even the front side, as you can see here. So there's no way to input it and have them act as valves easily rather. So I don't know if there's any easy way to go about this. In fact, I'm pretty sure there isn't. So the only thing left to do is probably expand upon this so that we have a few more things. This is going to be a long building. This entire thing itself is probably going to be 17 long. So let's build this up and then see if we can think of anything else. So once again, I'm out of accelerators, so I will need to create some more, but that is going to require a bunch of Nikolite hunting. Now, let's see, I think I haven't changed this yet. No, I have. So we got 6 of them done. It's not going to require too much more. I think the lag is due to the electricity not being quite stable. So we're going to need to make a lot more blue alloy wire. We currently do not have enough nickelite to do so. So what we'll probably do is wrap up for now, and then I'll go out on a huge nickelite expedition. And those are 2 heads that I found using my Vorpal and Disjunction Swift Death thing. Yes, I used my thing to chop them down. Anyways, I chopped them up, and now I have 2 heads that they are kind of creepy and guarding my nether wart. So anyways, I'll go out, grab some more stuff, hopefully some, well, yeah. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.